And now let's introduce you to Ambassador S.R. Tayal, former senior diplomat who is joining us from New Delhi, and he'll be talking to us about the deteriorating situation in Canada with regard to the relations with India as well. Ambassador Tayal, what do you make of Justin Trudeau's condemnation of the incident that took place at the temple?
It is very good that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said that it is unacceptable. But all the reports are that the police, which is operating in that area, they have not named any group for this attack on our temple and the consular camp, which was being held in a very legitimate function of any high commission, any embassy, nor they have arrested anybody. Now, in the present days of technology, we can see a lot of people have videos and police was there. I am told police was there because they had been advised by the High Commission that the camp is going to be held in that temple. Right. So, police should have that evidence that who all were these people. They can be identified, they can be arrested, they can be named, but no action has been taken. So I am very sorry to say that it is very difficult to believe that Prime Minister of Canada has finally woken up and has understood what he is supporting, what he is dealing with. It is the same playbook, Mark, what we saw in India in the 1970s late and 1980s, right, where a handful of Palestine supporters capture the Gurdwaras and the moderate, peace-loving Sikhs opt out, and then they try to create a Hindu-Sikh divide.
Yes.
Justin Trudeau perhaps is being advised by those who are open or silent supporters of Palestine, which again I'll say are a handful. Right. And the vast majority of Sikhs in Canada is non-political. But again, I would say that if even at this late hour, if Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has understood what he is dealing with, what he is promoting, what he is protecting, and he is risking the entire relationship of Canada with the third largest economy like India, the biggest democracy, he is on a wrong track. So let us see, but I am not hopeful.
Yes, indeed. In fact, today a group of Sikhs and Hindus, about 1,000 of strong, they got together and said that, they are not going to be divided and these kind of things are done by a handful of people who are separatists. But how do Indian diplomats function in a hostile country which doesn't respect diplomatic norms?
Well, this is a professional hazard. Many of our colleagues have operated in very, very difficult circumstances. And I am very honored to say, and the nation is grateful, and we are all grateful to them. And so the work of the Indian High Commission will continue. But of course, the High Commissioner is not there, but whoever is acting, as well as the South Bloc in Delhi, will keep a very close eye and the safety and security of our diplomats, our consular officers, is of supreme importance, because only if they are protected, they can protect the Indian community in Canada. But again, as per the Vienna Convention, it is the duty of the host state to fully guarantee the safety and security of diplomatic personnel of any country. So this responsibility is wholly, solely, entirely on the shoulders of the Canadian government. They cannot shy away from it. They cannot run away from it. So again, I'll say, let us see, if no action is taken against these people who attacked the temple and the consular camp which was going on in the temple, then the whole credibility of this Canadian government, which is already in the mud, will go further down in the depths.
So, but Ambassador Tayal, how does one hold Canada to account for this action that took place at the temple targeting ordinary worshippers? Because after all, they guarantee the right and the freedom to worship. And we've seen also that, groups have got together peacefully to protest against this after it's happened, to say that, in a democratic society, these are the things, this is the way you have to do it. but they don't seem, the government of the day doesn't seem to be taking notice of these things. They are, or seem to be following only a certain viewpoint, that those people are entitled to a freedom of expression, while these are not being. So they are being targeted as, they, who is the victim and who's the perpetrator is being misunderstood over here.
As diplomats, it is our job to educate, and the elected representatives of Canada, whether they are members of parliament, members of the legislative assembly, states, and fully tell them that what has been the history of Khalistan and what they are dealing with, and drugs are also involved. There are reports that Pakistan is dropping more drugs by drones into our Punjab, and on all these illegal channels, these drugs also go to Canada, and then they cross the border from Canada to the United States. So this is a very unholy nexus of, in the garb of supporters of Khalistan, which again I'll say are a handful, but they managed to capture the narrative, and unfortunately they also have infiltrated the Canadian police, RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and whatever intelligence RCMP gets is through Khalistani supporters. So they just get one-sided view. And you all know that these people are more in the police. So Justin Trudeau is getting a one-sided picture, and it is the job of both Indian diaspora in Canada. Hindus and Sikhs should go together and educate and advise and explain to the elected representatives of Canada at all levels what is really going on and what is behind all this unrest. And ultimately, as some I think MP of that constituency said, that there's a deep and brazen extremism is rising in Canada, and it has become a hotbed of radicals, safe harbor for radicals. The Toronto MP has said that Canada is safe harbor for radicals. So in a democracy, the public, of course, is the ultimate judge, but in between elections, the elected representatives carry a lot of weight. And I would perhaps think that Indian community as well as the Indian diplomats should try, fan out, and try to give the right information, advice to the elected representatives of Canada.
We leave it there. Thank you very much, Ambassador S.R. Tayal, former senior diplomat, for throwing light on this situation, which is affecting a large number of Indians, the Indian community that is living in Canada.